Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us at That Random Model. Today, we'd like to welcome our first sponsor. Our first sponsor for this live stream is water. If you're thirsty, try some refreshing water. Water. Thank you for that sponsor. Today's live stream, we're going to look at an old kit from 1985's Robotech anime. It's still sealed and it's plastic, not very well, but that's okay. It's not a terribly expensive kit. While I open this, I'm going to go ahead and explain what Robotech is for those of you that don't know. Robotech was based on 3 different animes from Japan. This was when anime wasn't very well known in the United States. It's not like the following it has now, or manga. And like I said, it was based on 3 different series that had a common theme of alien invasion of the Earth. The first one being based on a show called Super Dimensional Fortress Macross. Super Dimensional Fortress Macross translated into 36 episodes in the United States. This was my first real exposure to anime in my youth. And it was something that I loved. At the time, it was the first serialized anime that I'd ever seen, or serialized of any show that I've seen. Before that, the closest you got to serialization was Bill Bixby throwing his backpack on at the end of The Incredible Hulk and walking to the next town. But since that's an episodic structured show, those don't really match, except for maybe a couple themes that appear later on in the series. Looking at the first sprue, there's some gun turrets for the shoulders, and this is the stand that it goes on. This is the kit of the Super Dimensional Fortress. One of the armatures that got space warped near the beginning of the series. It was anchored around a South Pacific island called Macross, hence the name in anime Macross. It was moored. No, I'm sorry. It was on land, and the ships, the aircraft carrier and the other parts of the ships were moored nearby in the harbor on Macross Island. And they ended up being affixed alongside the Space Fortress, the SDF-1, and they launched fighters and everything from this. This is about the time of right before Top Gun came out, and the fighters that they based these on were F-14s, which were fairly new in the public's eye at the time. They had been serving in the military for at least, I want to say 10 years by that point. But the fighter craft that were featured in the show were based on F-14 Tomcats, and they transformed into large, gigantic robots. If you haven't seen the series, the reason why is because the aliens that invade are as tall as the gigantic robot fighters. Here's a superstructure where the that has the not the headquarters, but the base, where the admiral sits. This is all based on a kit from Japan. It is IMAI is the manufacturer, IMA, and they produce a lot of anime kits, sci-fi kits. They produced a lot of early kits for a lot of different anime series and a lot of different exciting series, as well as other subjects. This is the bottom of the battle fortress. The instructions. Now, the show did spawn quite a few spin-offs, movies, and additional series. Even though the Macross saga ended in 1985 with 85 episodes, divided over the three series, they live on today. If you haven't seen the shows, it can be a little jarring at some of the behaviors and the emotional plays of some of the characters, but it's a good watch. I still enjoy watching it every few years. This is for the display base. Macross. Doesn't say Robotech. Doesn't say Revell on it, because this is from the IMI. This is a direct from the IMI decal sheet. That's there we go. IMAI, the Japanese company that does a lot of anime-based subjects and a lot of large-scale based subjects as well. This is a 1/5000 scale. So when it's done, it says it's about 9 1/4 inches long. So about yay big. This is definitely a show that lives on in my memory and a lot of people's memories. If you're ever on Facebook, please watch Macross at SG Facebook page. That is one that I am a member of, and I really appreciate all the members that are on there. Of course, this is what the Space Fortress looks like when it's done. Space Fortress SDF-1, super dimensional fortress, and this is the first of a series of 3 that went over. Now, at the time, they didn't know that they were going to be building more when they made the original Macross saga, but in later subsequent series, they had a rebuilding of the superstructure after a lot of damage was done in the final battles. Spoiler alert, it's a good show. That's my spoiler for today. This ship right here was actually based on a crashed alien ship that takes place in the timeline of the show in 1999. The combined UN Spacey Forces can't think of the word. They they reverse engineer not only the technology that was based that they found in the structure, what they call robotechnology, whatever that actually is, or prototechnology, but they also took the original battle fortress and turned it into this right here, and that's why it's got a lot of hard edges and everything. And if you see the show, all of the alien ships that come looking for it have a very different look. So this is the original ship that lands on Earth in 1999. UN Spacey finds it in the South Pacific on Macross Island. Over the next 10 years, they reverse engineer and they make this fortress because they know that someone will become looking for this ship very soon. And that's why the jets that they use are transformable into giant robots. So it's a little convoluted scheme, but I mean, hey, it's anime, right? And at the time, they had Transformers, they had G.I. Joe. This fit right into that ideology of the time. So at the time, cartoons were 26-minute commercials for toys, models, games, Halloween costumes, you name it. Everything was Transformers, G.I. Joe, Robotech, He-Man at this time. So thank goodness for the 80s. It brought a lot of fun. Speaking of which, I think I'm going to be making a tribute to the 80s coming up in the next few weeks. I can't wait to start that. I've got a lot of good ideas for that. If you liked my Star Wars tribute, you will definitely like my 80s tribute. So please stay tuned. I will be building this hopefully over the next few months as it falls. I will be building this over the next few months, and I will be trying to get a better mount for my camera. I'm having a hard time with this one, so I do apologize for the shakiness. I do apologize for anybody who has motion issues. So we're gonna go ahead and end this now. It's a very simple kit. It's a small kit. It's something that has very, very basic colors: white, grays, some red, decals, and that's about it. But we are definitely looking forward to building this up. There's the aircraft carrier alongside. One of the ships is the Prometheus. I remember that. I don't remember which one. And of course, being in the 80s, this thing transforms. That's the Attack Fortress SDF-1 right there. And of course, just like what preceded this, space battleship Yamato, or in the United States, it was called Star Blazers. This actually has a large space cannon. So literally a glass cannon that, you could fire once and it would take out half the armada and you'd have to wait 27 days for it to recharge or something. That's not the recharge rate. So don't click on that down in the comments. That's not necessary. But you get what I'm saying. It's a glass cannon effect. It's not something that can be used every 5 minutes. It's something that they have to think ahead of what their targets are and what their tactics are. So again, this, especially the first season, if you can find it, it was on Netflix a couple years ago. If you can find it, Robotech is one of the best animes you can ever find yourself watching. Rick Hunter is the main character, and it follows his character for the most part throughout the whole arc of the first 36 episodes. And it is a fantastic watch. So let me know in the comments what your favorite anime is. Do you like Robotech, Macross, Battleship Yamato, Star Blazers? Do you like Sailor Moon? Are you into any of those things? Please let me know. And have a great day. Thank you so much for watching.